Hey, just a couple Braddock guys here hanging out at Dolphins High School Media Day. I'm Manny Navarro, joined by Coach Juan Torres, and Coach taking over the alma mater for me, and for yourself, obviously. What's it like, being the head guy at the school where you started off playing quarterback?
It's really a wonderful feeling. I'm excited as can be to be the head coach of Braddock, having played there, like you stated, and the kids really have made it a pleasure to take over as the head coach. They're working extremely hard. Great support from the administration and the parents and the community, so we're very excited for this coming season.
Now, before we get into this year's team and everything else, take me back to the glory days, the beginning. Coach P.J. Cunningham and those guys. What was it like day one, opening a new school and being the starting quarterback the way that you were?
Well, looking back now, it was really a great experience. It was very different. We didn't have a weight room set up yet, so we had to work out with milk jugs, actually. And a lot of running and push-ups and pull-ups and that type of workout. But it really makes me appreciate now what we do have by way of the weight room and the equipment that we have. When we first started, we started from scratch. So fond memories. I wouldn't change it for anything in the world, but I'm glad that it's not the first year. Yeah, it's not the inception.
23 years Braddock's been around now, and 3 coaches. I mean, you, PJ, and Coach Rojas. Obviously, Coach Rojas is a good friend of yours for many years. What was it like, taking over for him, and what advantage did you have being the offensive coordinator since, for so many years and being there since 2004?
Well, something Coach Rojas and I would talk about in the last 3 seasons it'd be great for me to take over once he decided to step down as head coach, and that did happen. So we're both very happy that that's the way it played out. And I learned a great deal from Coach Rojas. He and I are friends, and I still lean on him for a lot of advice, being that I'm a first-year head coach. So I know there's a lot of things that I have to learn on the fly as I go, and I couldn't ask for a better mentor than a guy who's been at the helm for so many years.
This program last year, 2-8. You guys, made the playoffs a couple years there in a row, and have kind of been trying to recover ever since. Talk about this team this year. Some of the players on offense that started on offensive side of the ball, guys that you're obviously more familiar with being the coordinator. What do you have on offense coming back? Talk about some of those guys and what your expectations are for that unit.
Offensively, for us, it starts with the offensive line. This past season, we had a lot of injuries in that position, but if we can stay healthy up front, Angel Alvarez, who had an exceptional year as a sophomore, should really have a breakout year, even better than last year as a junior. We have great skill players offensively, a little undersized, which when we line up against other teams, they tend to doubt our skill because we're not very big. But these guys have a lot of heart, and they do work extremely hard. And they know the offense very well because they've been a part of the offense for going on 4 years now. Back from freshman year till senior year, we have quite a few seniors on the varsity squad on the skill side of the ball. So I was very excited to see those guys really take ownership of the offense and really work hard because they really want to win. They don't want to go 2-8. They want to improve upon last season's record, and they want to leave their mark on the school as seniors.
You guys on the defensive side of the ball, what are you bringing back? How many starters you got there? And in terms of guys that you expect to step up, who do you have there?
Starts with our anchor, linebacker, and that's Ian Gonzalez. He's done an exceptional job this offseason, working really hard, lifting, running, conditioning, leading the team by example, and we expect big things out of Ian. The D-line will be much better this season as well. We have fresh legs to rotate in and out. So the defensive line should do a great job for us, along with the leadership by Ian Gonzalez, the inside linebacker.
Tell me a little bit about the schedule this year. Obviously, I know the district. You're familiar with those guys. It's pretty much stayed the same. Who are you playing non-district, and which games are you looking forward to the most?
We open up with NMB, and that's actually a great test for us because they're very well coached. They're a very hard-nosed football team. They have a great coach, so it's going to be a good test for us, at least for me, to gauge where we're at early on in the season and use that moving forward for the rest of the season. Adjustments that need to be made, weaknesses within the team, they need to be adjusted. So it's a great way for us to start. So NMB will be a good test for us, a non-district game.
All right. Well, best of luck to you this year, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.